Everybody in the industry is looking for safe bets, but you can definitely feel audiences getting tired of it. Like I said, for example, the MCU.
Without doubt, and the MCU is a prime example of shifting to streaming, right? Because that's where it's really starting to fall apart for a lot of these studios, and because they were banking on everything, but the cracks are starting to show. I mean, there's no doubt about it, right?
Yeah, completely agree. Because I mean, talking about streaming, everybody has a streamer right now. Even my grandma is developing a streamer. Just kidding,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
kidding. But we do know that the streaming wars are over. Netflix came out on top. They were the juggernaut that started this whole thing, but they're still slowing down, to be honest with you. Because I mean, you look at the landscape that we're in right now. Disney is combining with Hulu just to stay efficient and
Yep.
stay afloat and get that overseas audience as well. And everyone all across the board is hiking up prices to insane costs of content, just trying to stay afloat.
Yeah, because for years, remember when all of these people decided to get into the game, it was all about growth at all costs. It doesn't matter, just pump the money in. But now they realized, well, maybe that's not a smart business decision. So now it's all about profitability instead. But guess what? That math ain't working because the bandwidth that is required and the structure that is required is expensive. So you can't just focus on profitability. You've got to focus on content that audiences want to see. But you're not. And what's happening? Well, the audiences are canceling more than they ever have before. And that's becoming the new norm. Ads. Ads are how they're trying to balance that. Ugh, not good.
Well, isn't it so funny too? Because at the very beginning of this whole entire thing, all of the streamers were like, no, we're not going to do ads. We're not going to do ads. We're not going to do ads. Well, look where we are. Streaming was supposed to kill cable, but it's actually reinventing cable. It's just more expensive, more confusing, and more on demand for consumers like you and I and mom and pop down the street. It's just on demand. It's no longer, I have to wait for this specific time on this specific day to see the show I want to watch.
Yeah, which is absolutely crazy. And you're right. The whole slogan was cut the cord, cut the cord. It is cable now. There's commercials everywhere. And the only way you're surviving is to get the ad tiers because they keep raising the prices like you said. And from a creative standpoint, it's getting hard also. Streamers want broad content. You brought this up just a couple minutes ago that travels internationally, globally because they feel like they've inundated North America, right? They're losing subscribers. How do you turn that around? Well, you go internationally. So they want content that travels globally and local or niche storytelling that fits into here. It's kind of getting lost. And if you're a creator that's creating something that you feel is going to work here, it might never see the light of day. It's just that's not what they're looking for right now.
No, yeah, it is mind-boggling because remember when we first started this podcast as filmmakers who have a podcast, this was something that we were very excited about.
Yeah.
All these different streamers opening up their money, opening up their wallets to have all of this different content, but now like they're being more hesitant and they don't want to give back end points because we're talking about residuals and it's very brutal, especially for like writers, actors, indie producers like ourselves. The back end deals that used to make careers move forward, those barely exist, especially on streaming. So I don't even know how people survive on those anymore. You can't.
No, and the upfront money that they're paying out to creators to like just buy the show whole is getting lower and lower, which is where the back end deal used to come in, but now it's non-existent, like you said. The upside, though, there is upside because it's if you can find that story that works both here and globally, right? If you can find that, well, it's accessible now because everybody has access. So a good indie film or a good documentary, it can literally find a global audience overnight. Somebody sitting here in North America, somebody sitting over in Europe can both click on it at the same time on the same night and boom. And right there, but the problem is, like I said, most of that stuff's fallen into the cracks. How do you cut through the clutter, right?
Yeah, because it can be a little crazy. There's a lot on there. And some of the streaming platforms are kind of hard to navigate. Like, for example, Paramount Plus, though has some good shows, it's very difficult to navigate
Yeah.
because, like, you can't go through and actually search for something on Paramount Plus. I don't know about for you, but for me, it's very difficult to try to search for something on my Amazon Fire Stick and it pop up Amazon Plus. But since I have Amazon Plus or we have Amazon Plus through Apple, like it always takes me to the actual Amazon Plus or Paramount Plus. I'm sorry if I was saying Amazon the whole time. Paramount Plus's individual app rather than the Paramount Plus through Apple, which it's always like, oh, start this free trial, start this free trial. But that's absolutely crazy because that's the hard part discoverability and just trying to get to where you want to be because there are all of these different ways to subscribe to these services. Those are the gatekeepers when it comes to the entertainment industry now.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, they used to have it like when you would go into Apple, it would all be right there at the top. Now
Mm-hmm.
you've got to go like 7 pages down before you find where you can just click on Paramount and
Mm-hmm.
look for Paramount. That's insane. But it's I think it's because it's what the algorithm tells it to do, right? These are tech companies, and the only way they know how to function in the world is by algorithms. In algorithm, we trust, right? So the sad thing is, though, with the algorithm, and I'm sure if you guys are on social media at any point whatsoever, you know, it changes constantly. So you could literally come at one of these streamers with like the best series that anybody has ever seen ever, and then the algorithm will bury it. It might be noticeable for a couple of days, and then the algorithm will change, and nobody will not even be able to find it. It's like it doesn't even exist. And
Yeah.
that is the problem, right?
Yeah, completely agree.